mathematicians. Today we are going to look at my monomials. Monomials are a number, any variable, or a product of them. And what does the word product mean? Multiply. So multiplying a number, a variable, or just them by themselves. So looking at these, let's decide if we have a monomial or not. -3, yes or no? Yes, a monomial could be just a number. XY, yes, because what is in between? A times. What about x plus y? This is a no. Cannot have an addition in there. It is multiplication. -2 ABC. Yes, what is in between all of them? Multiply. Lastly, x over y squared. This is no. You have that y squared in there in division. Okay, so you're looking for a product or just a number or a variable. Review some exponents. 2 to the 5th, 2 is your base, 5 is your exponent. What does this written out look like? 2 times 2 times 2, 5 2's being multiplied together. Right. We're going to use that knowledge for some product of powers. Meaning if we have a to the m times a to the n, right, you are going to add those exponents. You're going to have a lot of a's, so you're going to add those exponents. For instance, if I had 3 squared times 3 cubed. Well, here's my 3 squared, and then times 3 cubed. How many 3's would I have? 3 more. So there's my 3 squared. Here's my 3 cubed. How many 3's do I have all together being multiplied? 5. 3 to the 5th. 2 plus 3 equals 5. If you have the same base times, you are going to add your exponents. So let's use that to look at some of these. 3y to the 4th times 7y to the 5th. Now we know multiplication can be any order, so I'm going to multiply my whole numbers times, and I'm going to multiply the y's. We know multiplication can happen in any order, so I'm going to move that order around. 3 times 7, 21. Y to the 4th times y to the 5th. The base is the same. They're both y's. So what do I do with these exponents? Add. You would have 9 y's all listed out if you were to list all of them out multiplication. And that is it. Take a look at this one. I have numbers, variable r, s, and t, and there's a times in there. So I have a long list of multiplication. Which two can I multiply? -4 times -6. Pull the r's. R, what is the exponent here? If there's nothing listed, it is a 1. And r to the 5th. Reorder, put our s's together, we have s squared times s squared. And lastly, t cubed times t cubed. Remember, this is all multiplying, and multiplying can be arranged any order. Go ahead and finish this one on your own. Let's see how you did. -4 times -6, +24. R times r to the 5th. How many r's do we have? R to the 6th. Times s squared times s squared. S to the 4th. Add your exponents. T cubed times t cubed. T to the 6th. Add your exponents. since you are multiplying. And that's all you have to do. Our next one is power of a power, meaning I have an exponent raised to an exponent. So an exponent raised to an exponent. What you're going to do here is you are going to multiply these. An exponent to an exponent, you're going to multiply. So here what you're going to do is a to the 9th to the 4th, you will multiply those and get a to the 36th. What's happening here is I would have a to the 9th 4 times. 4 a to the 9ths. And then our last rule just would have told us to add those all together, which would give us a to the 36. So a shorter way is just to multiply those. But that's what's happening. If you were to list them all out, 4 of them, and add, you'd get a to the 36. This one's interesting. I have a squared to the 5th, and all of that then to the 3rd. So just start on the inside, a squared to the 5th. What do you do to figure out what a squared to the 5th is? You have a power to a power, so you are going to multiply. And this would be a to the 10th. So a power to a power, multiply. Don't forget then, we still have the cubed. And what will you do last? Multiply again. So this would be a to the 30th power. So start on the very inside, multiply that first exponent, and then multiply that second one. Nice job. We have one other rule today, and that is power of a product. Meaning, if I have more than one item inside to an exponent, each piece has to be broken down and given that exponent. So if I have multiple pieces inside, each piece gets that exponent. So here, I have x times y, so each of them needs the 6th. So x to the 6th, y to the 6th. Just make sure each piece inside gets that 6th power. Try the next one on your own. Let's see how you did. How did you break this up? Each piece gets the 3rd power. So first one, 5 to the 3rd. And the next, a to the 3rd. And lastly, b to the 3rd. There's one last thing that you need to do here. If you can actually figure out what it is, go ahead and figure out 5 to the 3rd, 5 times 5 times 5. 125, a cubed, b cubed. And there is no other simplifying that can be done. So make sure each piece gets the exponent. Simplify if you have any numbers. Nice job. We're going to put all of those rules together and take a look at some of these. It says simplify, so I'm going to start with my first parenthesis here. I have a lot of things going on. First, I have multiple things inside that need the 3rd power. So we just said each piece should get this cubed. So 1/2 cubed, a squared cubed, and b squared cubed. Okay. So you can tell there's going to be a lot of work we're going to have to show here. 1/2 cubed. So I were to write that out. 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. 3 1/2 multiplied. How do you multiply fractions? Straight across the top, straight across the bottom. On top, what will we get? 1. And on bottom, 8. If we come back up here, I have a squared cubed. What did the rules say we needed to do with exponents if I have an exponent to an exponent? Power to a power. Multiply those. So we get a to the 6th. And lastly, power to a power, b to the 6th. So there's the first parenthesis. Now I got to start over here. Start on the very inside. I have negative 4b squared. Each piece inside needs to be squared. So negative 4 squared and b squared. Negative 4 times negative 4, 16b squared. So that took care of this piece right there. Now what else do we have? Another squared. And how do you find out this one? Each piece needs this squared now. So 16 squared and b squared squared. Find out what 16 squared is. And you get 256. And what about here? B squared squared. B to the 4th. We're almost done. Now I just have to simplify my pieces here. So I'm going to pull out my numbers. So I'm going to have 1/8 times 256. Is there an A to match with? Nope. And now I can put the B's next to each other. Remember, multiplying can happen in any order. 1/8 times 256. Is 32. A squared. And if I have b to the 6th times b to the 4th, the same base, so what do I do with those exponents? Add them. B to the 10th. Okay. Find each of those using your rules and simplify. Nice job today, mathematicians.